Hey everyone, this is Nic LaRue from FilmSnobbery. I'm here at Panic Fest in Kansas City, North Kansas City technically, but hey, who's counting? But I am here, I'm doing interviews and it's fun. We're having a great time and I'm here with three people. Who am I here with?
You're here with James Fite, writer-director of CARNAGE RADIO.
Hey, I'm Sommer Garcia Soccer. I'm one of the producers of CARNAGE Radio.
I'm Jennifer Hull-Muniz. I am the makeup artist for CARNAGE Radio.
All right, so let's go ahead and tell the folks at home, what is CARNAGE Radio about?
CARNAGE Radio, it's a feature about a serial killer who comes to a small West Texas town and trying to find a reason to kill people. He decides he's just going to take out people who call into a late-night radio show. And each person that calls in does this thing, and the DJ and the police are trying to figure out what's going on, and fun ensues.
Fun ensues. Fun and carnage. So you're one of the producers. Okay, so here's the thing. Producers is such a nebulous title, right? What kind of a producer were you, are you? What kind of producer do you want to be?
Okay, I think one of the ways we can answer this is lately these two are calling me Mom. I think that one of the roles of a producer, especially on indie films, is to sort of be a surrogate mother, taking care of everyone on set, making sure everyone has what they need from, the script all the way down to minutia on set of like little things like, have you been hydrating? Are you drinking your water? Like, go take care of this person. We ran out of Cokes. We need to go get some more Diet Cokes or energy drinks. So all of that in between, and then obviously there's, larger picture things that we did as the producing team, but that is one of them.
Now, that's fantastic, and you just made me realize that I need a producer. Because I have a wife, but that's way above and beyond her job description. I mean, there was the love and honor part. There was something else in there, too, but I don't really, it wasn't keep me hydrated. I know that much. So I think we need to have more like life producers. I think that's a thing. I'm sure that someone has that job in California somewhere. How did you all get involved together? And we'll start over here at the end.
I got adopted because my family actually runs a film festival in the town that I live in Huntsville, Texas. And I met James several years ago whenever he brought the short proof of concept to our film festival, and got to talking to him, talking about how much I loved makeup and like special effects and everything. And it kind of in passing, he was like, have you ever thought about doing that for film? And I was like, yeah, it's a dream of mine. And then the pandemic hit and couldn't, their plans kind of had to be put on hold, and then he hit me up on Facebook and I was like, hey, I was serious, we're doing this. So that's how I got on board.
All right, so we're talking, I mean, this is independent film, so there's always challenges. I'm sure that there's challenges in funding, there's challenges in production. COVID happened, and everyone had a challenge with that. What were some of the more pronounced challenges about getting CARNAGE Radio finished, start to finish, and here at Panic Fest?
Oh, man, how much time you got now? We had all the challenges from, we had funding coming in, then stuff happened where they dropped out. Then we had funding coming in, and the pandemic happened, and we had to put stuff on hold. And finally, our biggest investment was probably from a gas station chain that we hit up saying we would put your gas station in our movie and your cups and your socks even, and can we have money please? And then we started hitting up sponsors around the local town that we were shooting at, and everyone was kind of pitching in, and we got a budget, and then we started making a movie. But then we were still shooting at the end of the pandemic, so that was a challenge. And also we were working with a bunch of people who were local that wanted to help, that were trying to figure out how does the movie work, so we're trying to teach them. And luckily we had some crew that we did bring in that worked with me on a lot of stuff, that very talented, and they were able to knock it out of the park. People who see the movie, they are like, there's no way that you made this for what you did. And they're really impressed, and I'm really proud of it, everything that everyone's done. I mean, especially these people here that are with me. They're like, yeah, let's go to Panic Fest and let's do some hustling. So.
It sounds like, I mean, of course, there's always the trope of like, hey, everyone, let's make a movie. But it sounds like that happens all too often. It's, there's that group of people that they just get together and it's like, we have decided this is going to happen. And that's awesome. And I love the fact that you got the kind of local community involved and people were kind of there. I have a friend of mine that is up in Waldenboro, Maine, which is in the middle of nowhere. And, he had a premiere of his movie. It was a little thriller that he shot for like less than $10,000, and the whole town showed up. He literally is like, he goes, as of that person in line right there, I'm in the black on this movie, like day one. And that's really interesting when, communities really come behind people like that. You don't hear stories like that often enough to kind of convince people to, hey, maybe it's time to, try. Maybe if you don't go to those local gas stations and ask for a sponsorship, how would you know? So we're talking about all the challenges and stuff of making a movie. And there's challenges making any independent film. I mean, money you talked about a little bit. I'm actually also really interested in like, what was your pitch and approach? Did you have to go to them with like, here's like a PowerPoint presentation of like something, or did you just literally walking into a gas station and be like, who do I talk to make this happen?
All right, this take a minute here. We originally we got the idea of Carnage Radio. I was on a radio show, an actual radio show that we filmed at in the movie, and we always get random callers. We do a show about movies, and during a break, I was talking about what if somebody called in that was like psycho and started like messing with us. I mean, what would we do? And kind of sprung an idea, and then over the next few breaks, we were kind of kicking around ideas, and then the next day, I was like, hey, I'm going to write a script based on that. And then the script turned into like a full feature-length script. And we realized we need money to make this. What do we do? Well, let's make a short film version of it as a proof of concept. So we made it for free. We paid everyone pizza and beer and had a bunch of local people in it. No big actors, just local townsfolks. And we did a 20-minute proof of concept. I took certain scenes out of the movie and we made it. And we did a festival run, and that got attention. And then we, what I said earlier, like some things happened, funding dropped and all this stuff, and the pandemic. I mean, stuff that happened, like I freaking died. I had a massive heart attack when we were getting ready to go, and I died. Actually,
is that why you're so mellow now?
Yeah. It really, I used to be way more uptight.
Talk about that.
Yes.
Not necessarily for this, but because I have had chest pains recently.
Uh-oh.
And I can't get in to see a doctor about it. So
just go to the ER and say, I'm having chest pains. They'll see you.
Okay.
No, actually, I broke some records. I was dead for 56 minutes. And
How does that work?
they don't know. They said I was brain dead. And the next day I woke up. And then they were like, holy crap, he's not brain dead. And then they said, well, he'll never walk again. And a week later, I started walking down the hallway. And then they said, you have to get a transplant of every organ. Because I didn't have oxygen going to my organs for 3 hours. And a month later, all my organs were like at 100%. And they're like, we don't know what you are. You're an alien, something. That's what she thinks, Jennifer. But anyway, so I had that little hurdle, and I was like, all right, we're back to trying to get money for Carnage. And we got our funding and everything, and the pandemic happened, but then we got our funding, and we're going to make the movie this coming year. And I experienced a loss. My son passed away. He was killed in a car accident. A guy ran a stop sign. And that was like, everyone was like, there's no way we're making this movie. And I was like, no, we're going to make this movie. Ryan would kick my ass if I was to not do this. And the producers, they knew me better than I knew myself. They're like, okay, well, we're going to push it back a few months. I was like, no, we're pushing it back. And they were right. I needed it. And so, but by the time it came around to make the movie, I was ready to go. I was more motivated than anything. My motivation was, I'm doing this for my son. I'm doing this to prove that I died, but I've come back, and I'm going to make a movie. And we shot it in September. We had to take a little break because a couple actors caught COVID. So we had to do some rescheduling. We took a month off, came back in November, shot a second phase, got the movie done, and then we went into post and got it done, and now we're here at Panic Fest.
Hi, this is Nic LaRue from FilmSnobbery. I'm here with The Walking Dead. I don't know how you tell me that story and then you expect me to ask something good after that? I mean, you're damn right. I guess at this point I'm like, okay, on to the producer. No. All of that it's fantastic stuff because, I mean, I love the idea of you set out to do something, and despite these things, the motivation to finish it was still there. I think that it says a lot. There's a lot of reasons to not do something, and life will throw every one of those reasons at you, including just like, I just don't want to sit today. Today is not the day for that. And then sometimes just saying yes to those things and having people around you, especially, who are more yes and people, instead of, hey, why? What, not why, but why not? I think that's really important in accomplishing things like this, especially when, making movies, because a lot of people, it's not a normal thing to do. Like, making movies is not something people do every day. It's that's why we only watch so many of them at these festivals and stuff like that. In your case, that's fantastic. I mean, so much. I can't thank you enough for being here, both on the earthly plane in whatever form you fucking are right now. I'm going to start calling you Kal-El, but there you go, right? See, there you go. That protected you. But I would love to hear a little bit more about, from the producer side, putting this together and the challenges that you had to go through, especially in relation to, as this was going together, apart. How do you stay motivated in a project like this?
Yeah, I think that the motivation probably came with purpose, right? So I think that there was like a purpose after seeing. I will say that, like, we have a big producing team, so I'm one of 4 other producers, and then James also, helped produce as well. I'm the only one here right now, but I just wanted to shout out to my other producers on this team. So, I think, when we were developing the script, like, he already had the script. It was very long, and we worked on a music video together. And that was the first time that we were working on the same set together. We already knew each other. We had met each other on the festival circuit. I had another short film, and that's how we first met. And I saw CARNAGE RADIO, the short film. And then he brought me on for this music video, and then he was like, well, what do you think about coming on board and taking a look at the feature-length script of CARNAGE RADIO? So we started working that, I think, in 2019, the end of 2019. And then, pandemic hit 2020. And so we're like, well, actually, this is a perfect opportunity for us to sit back and develop the script. So we sort of took that first challenge, right, and we used it to our advantage. I unfortunately, at the end of 2020, so I'd been on board like for a year at that time, Ryan was killed in the car accident. And, watching your friend go through that is heartbreaking. I mean, for so many different reasons. But as a team, I'm coming from Houston, and the other producers and James are from Big Spring, Texas. They all knew each other since they were in diapers, so I was kind of like the new kid on the block. But it hurt me a lot too, because I hadn't had the chance to meet Ryan, but I knew everyone else was super close. They're a family, the guys. So to watch all of my new friends going through that was really painful. But I also knew that Ryan wanted James to make this movie, and so we all wanted James to make that movie. And as a producer, I think one of your responsibilities to help your director, your team, get the movie made. And so we kind of set out and told James, like, look, you take the time that you need, but we really think we should still move forward and make the movie, but we're just going to, like, let you get through this.
So, I mean, it kind of related, so you were a little bit on the outside of things as things were happening. But when he died, was there discussions that happened of, we have to finish this movie for him.
So I wasn't. That was during the Carnage Radio, the short. So I actually had met him when he came to a film festival. We met in San Antonio, the San Antonio Film Festival, and he was there with Carnage Radio, the short film. So I was standing up there on a Q&A panel talking about my film, and he's standing next to me. And then he starts telling this story about, I died and came back to life. And I was like,
a month after I died.
But I didn't know that until literally we were in this Q&A, and I just like sort of turned and I was like, what did he just say? Like, what? So
medical bracelet on.
So I learned about that story after the fact. And so like as we were developing it, we would talk about it. I mean, that's just something that you talk about, right? And so not many people have gone through that. So then, like, that's just like a new like thing, yeah.
See, Jennifer knew me before that.
I did. I met him before, and then he became really good, like really close to all of us, and we got the call from actually one of the other producers called my dad, and they were like, "Hey, we just wanted to let you know, Fite is not doing well, and when I mean he's not doing well, he's dead." Like my dad's like, "Oh my god!"
And then you get the call later.
Yeah,
my bad.
Like JK.
How do you go like silent?
I mean, I'm like over there like devastated and whatnot, and then like my dad comes in. He's like, hold that thought. No, he's not. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? So when I heard that, I was like, well, he's not going to make movies like ever again. Like, oh my gosh. And then that next year at our film festival, we see James Fite submitted another short film. We're like, oh my gosh, what? He made another one? What? Who is this guy? So I had the privilege of seeing like meeting him before and then after. And I don't know, I agree with you. I think he's a demigod or something. I think like something happened.
It does bring to mind an interesting question of, does experiencing tragedy and loss, both your son but also yourself, does that change your perspective when it comes to making horror movies? I mean, which is a subject that I know deals a lot with death. Sometimes it's more in the form of gore. Sometimes it's more in the form of allegory and all these other things. Did it change you as a filmmaker in how you view and express yourself through that medium?
Kinda, sort of. I did a short film with my kids, my son and my daughter, called I See Something. And it was something we did, you might have. We did it starting just as fun, dad playing with the kids and a camera, and they were like, let's do this for real. And so we shot a little short film, just the three of us, and hardly no crew helping us or anything. A friend would come over every once in a while if I needed them to hold something. And that was one of my greatest memories with my kids, doing that. And I wanted to turn it into a feature. And in the feature, I was like, after Ryan passed away, I was like, I can't do this, not now. And I had another short film that I written that I really wanted to write that dealt with a father losing his family in a car wreck that I wrote before I lost Ryan. I was like, I can't do that one either. There's certain things I can't do, but I can put an axe in the guy's throat in Carnage Radio. So, yes.
That's what I think that I think that that's something that we picked up on as a producing team. We saw that making a movie was going to be cathartic for him. We knew that he needed to make this movie. Yeah. I don't know. That could sound cliche, but like honestly, like if that's what he does, he makes movies. He can't stop that. If he was going to stop making movies, then and Ryan wanted him to make movies.
Let's just throw another wrench in there. I also got divorced in the middle of making this movie. So it's like everything that happened to stop me was happening. I mean, I died, my son died, my wife left me. I was like, what the hell? It's hard to make movies, guys. But I still finished it, and No, and I mean, and we're all still doing stuff and things. So I mean, it's life. Stuff just happens, and you can keep going.
Let's talk about something a little bit more on the fun side of that. We're here at Panic Fest. We're at a film festival. This is not your any of your first film festivals. You've done with shorts and other films and stuff like that. What are the things that when you go to a film festival, what do you hope to get out of it? Like, is it just you want to get an audience to see your stuff? Do you want to meet new collaborators? Do you want to, get that distribution deal? What is your kind of ultimate goal, and how do you select what festivals you all want to go to?
Yes. Okay. All the above. I mean, a lot of it is I've met so many people that I've collaborated with on my films, team included right here, from film festivals. Without them, I wouldn't have met them. I live in Big Spring, Texas. It's the middle of nowhere, West Texas. I don't have people that do this stuff really around there. I have people that like movies. But yeah, I pick out festivals that sometimes it's just because they look fun. Sometimes because I think that one will benefit us. Sometimes it's because it's people that I know that are good people that I've been there before, so I want to go back. There's those three reasons why I pick it. I mean, and if somebody wants to buy Carnage Radio, please let us know at Panic Fest.
Yeah, same. I think community is really important to me, and it's nice when you can meet other people who, doing the same thing you're doing, especially in the indie world. That's how I met people in my collaborators that I've worked with is through film festivals. And I lived in LA for a long time, and it was pretty lonely in LA. Like, everyone, it really is, yes, it is beautiful. Yes, the weather is great. Lots to do there. But I knew that once my first short film started going to festivals in Texas, I was like, man, I got to move back home to Texas, because everyone was like super nice and wanting to work together. So I was like, yeah, I miss this community. So that's what I love most about film festivals.
So I'm a kind of unique case here. This is actually my very first film festival. I met them through, like I said, my family runs a independent film festival in my tiny, tiny little town of Huntsville, Texas. My dad has always been a movie guy. And when we moved there's this very nice, cute, charming little old town theater, and my dad was the manager of it, and he was like, one day I'm going to have a film festival here. One day I'm going to do it. And by God, he did it. And the first year, he was like, we were expecting, we'll get a couple, hopefully we'll have enough that we can like do something like a little mom and pa like film festival. And we were like astonished by how many people actually submitted. And then the second year that we did it, that's whenever we met James, and we actually just had our 7th year back in February. So this is my first film festival that my family hasn't run, that I've been to.
Nepo baby.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a Nepo baby. But I just, piggybacking off of that, I think it's, the networking and the community and the friends that you make just in the circuit. People who are like-minded, I think that's my favorite part. So.
What a producer thing to add. I mean, obviously, for Carnage Radio, and for all the films that I make, we want to find an audience for these movies. Like, we didn't just make it so that we could just watch it. Right. We want to share it with people. We want to entertain
sick of
people.
Watching it.
We want to entertain people. We want to bring it in front of audiences, and that's what's so great about film festivals, right? Is that you've got these awesome audiences who love movies. We want to bring you a movie that we hope that you love, Yeah. And yes, and hopefully find a distributor.
No, that's wonderful, and I want to thank everyone for coming out to Panic Fest and sharing your time with me, but also sharing Carnage Radio with the audiences here, and hopefully everything stays as packed as it has been since the opening night movie. Everything, the attendance is really great here. I think it also helps that it's an actual working theater, like during the thing as well. But hopefully that means people will kind of migrate over to there as well. Panic Fest has been wonderful so far. I want to thank them for having FilmSnobbery here. And I want to, again, say thank you, folks, and hopefully everyone enjoys Carnage Radio.
Thank you.
Thank you.